Welcome to the Lancashire Lad podcast. Welcome to the Lancashire Lad podcast, and this week we speak to what I consider as a musical legend, in my realm anyway. Geoff is a singer-songwriter from Newcastle. You may have seen him on some of the early episodes of The X Factor back in 2014. I think that's the right year. Let me introduce you to Geoff Mull. Geoff, how are we? Are we all right?
I'm good, yeah. We've finally got round to doing this.
We've been talking about it for a while, haven't we? But obviously we're busy because we're both relatively new fathers, aren't we?
We are, mate. Yeah, it's.
When did yours come along?
Oh, mate, it still seems new every day for how great it feels every day. But my little one's nearly 4 now.
Oh, right, okay. I thought it was relatively new fathers. Well, yeah, mine are 12 weeks old nearly. So, yeah, it's a bit of a roller coaster. I could probably get some tips off you if I'm honest. It's certainly been a world shaker for me anyway. So anyway, thank you for giving up your time. I appreciate it. And the reason I wanted to talk to you is because across all socials, I think you've nearly got about 150,000 followers across all socials. So I often think it's probably a good thing for you as well to have an interview where people can see, a different side of Geoff or a side of Geoff they didn't know. So that's why I wanted to talk to you. Hopefully we'll have a good chat. We've got plenty to talk about. So let's delve straight in with the singing because, I've had the privilege over the 15 years of working around Europe. I've worked in a lot of places. And without a shadow of a doubt, you've got one of the best voices that I've ever heard. So where did that come from? Was it something that when you started young, it was just there, or did you have to work on it? Tell us how it all started.
Well, I've not really worked on it as such. I've never had like any major vocal training or anything. I don't know. Like you say, some people are born with it and some people are not. And I think I've just been really lucky to be born like just around music, from being in my bouncer to starting to walk to starting to just really remember like the first sort of music I heard, the 70s and 80s disco through my mum's side. And then you had the likes of the Tracy Chapman and the U2 and the Mike and the Mechanics sort of era with my dad. And I just grew up with music.
Yeah.
And I was always sort of center of attention, let's say. I always wanted to do a performance for family or friends that came around to visit my mum. Like I'd charge them 50 pence a show,
I love it.
Yeah, it was just something I just knew from a very young age that that's what I wanted to do. And the older I got, the more I was performing, doing bits of plays, musical theatre, Annie, Oliver Twist and stuff at school, and then it just progressed from there.
So who did a young Geoff Mull look up to then musically wise? I mean, you mentioned some corkers there. I mean, Mike and Mechanics, Paul Carrick, what a voice! What a voice that man has. Yeah. But who did you grow up liking? Who influenced you? What did you used to play?
From an age where I think I started to understand music in the 90s, I loved the boy bands.
Yeah.
I loved Backstreet Boys. Was probably one of the first songs I started to sing as a young kid. I think it was all along this has always been a friend of mine.
Yeah.
As long as you love me. I think that was one of the first songs I started to perform, and then from then.
How old are you, Geoff?
I'm 30 in October.
Right, so you'll have missed. You see, I'm 38. And so you'll have just missed the New Kids on the Block, who were literally the first. And some of them were really good singers, you know what I mean? But I think the Backstreet Boys, because Take That came out before the Backstreet Boys. But obviously it was focused around Gary. And I know obviously the Backstreet Boys were focused around like Nick and Brian, but all of them could sing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
good.
I think they were the first real boy band where the whole lineup, you know, I mean, Howie D, you know, what a voice. What a voice.
Every one of them.
Yeah. So it's crazy because Backstreet Boys, yeah. Any other influences in the boy band arena?
Obviously Take That, Boyzone, Westlife, all the boy bandy stuff I did really like up until as I gradually got a bit older, and my dad then introduced us to Travis and David Gray, James Morrison, like all Tracy Chapman, like all the storytelling songwriters. That's when I thought I was listening to lyrics and I was feeling the music instead of just listening to the music and thinking, oh, this is a good song. Yeah. I started understanding music a bit more as I grew older, and then that's what I knew I wanted to write my own songs and get to that stage, and yeah, here we are.
So what did with regards to learning songs or performing, etc., do you find it incredibly easy? Are you one of them annoying people that's a bit like Paul Achister, that your ear just picks up the notes straight away and away you go?
Yeah, I'm very... Yeah, I pick up a lot of things, and I put 110% into everything I do. So I seem to be, not in a big-headed way, but I seem to be good at a lot of things, except from snooker. I'm very bad at snooker, but I'm really good at pool. But the likes of anything, mate, football, rugby, boxing, sort of music. I'm a part-time electrician. I'm a handyman. I can do a lot of things.
Well, if you're an electrician, there's no reason why your name shouldn't be in lights.
Yeah, mate, I'm working on it. I'm working on it in the studio. I want my name, Geoff Mull, up there.
Yeah, no, get it. So, as I just mentioned a minute ago, I mentioned the name Paul Achister, who's a good friend of both of us. Yeah. And obviously, Paul was on the X Factor not so long ago, well, maybe 5 years ago now. But of course, you enjoyed and experienced a similar experience. So I think the year was 2014. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, I went on 2013.
Right. Okay.
And again, I went through all the audition process. I'd done the arena audition, boot camp, the group audition at boot camp, and then I actually sang for a chair that year as well.
Right.
Because I didn't get a chair, obviously I got edited out the show, which is cool. Which is cool. I understand. I totally understand that. But 2014 was the year I went back the year after. And again, went through the process, missed a few auditions at the beginning. That year, I had to do the room audition in Newcastle at the Baltic. And then I had to do the arena audition at Wembley. And then it was boot camp, the group challenge, and then the 6-chair challenge again, which I was lucky to get a chair. Yeah. And chairs were being taken. I think I got the 4th chair. And I think there was about maybe 13 or 14 boys in the category left. And they were coming out, and then the 5th chair had went, the 6th chair had went. And then that's when we thought, there's about 4 or 5 left to sing. Chairs are going to go here. Yeah. So we're head in my hands, like the feeling, mate, it's brutal. There's 5,000 people there watching and screaming numbers, and number 1, number 5 needs to go. And it's just like, this is not nice.
It can't.
No, it's not. And then there was one guy left to sing who was Paul Achister. And we knew Paul was going to get a chair.
Right. I didn't know this bit. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So me and Paul were in the same year. We met 2013.
Right.
I think Paul had made Judges' Houses that year. Then Paul, same as me, went back 2014, made this amazing transformation, as obviously you've seen, I've seen, everyone's seen the weight he lost, just how good he looked, It was something he needed to do, and I'm so glad he did, because it paid off in the end, and he went all the way to live shows, which takes me back to the chair challenge. Paul was the one guy left to sing. And obviously great for Paul. Like, I was so happy for Paul, but I was gutted for me that Paul was the guy who took my chair. So I literally just missed out on judges' houses.
You know, it's. I didn't expect to hear you speak about it in such an understanding manner. So, like, when you said, obviously, you didn't expect that, or, you know, you understand you're edited out for this reason, because it must have been a crazy feeling, because singing is all you ever wanted to do. And for 2 years running, you know, just falling short, to dust yourself down, go back, and go through that again and put yourself through it again. You seem to, I know a lot of people that would even now not be over that, you know, but you seem to be very positive with how you look at things. And you know, you've probably taken the positive of it. It made you a stronger person. What was the feeling? Sorry to touch on him. What was the feeling like coming up short with it? Because you're that close to, you know, changing your life in a manner that gives you a shot at the big time. What was it like? Was the tears? Was the sleepless nights?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Off camera, we came off stage, the little stairs you come down just to get off that big X on the boot camp stage. Had a word with Dermot, and I honestly think I said something along the lines of, "I'm done. I can't do this anymore." And then I think within maybe 30 minutes of having to phone, of all people, my mum. As soon as I spoke to my mum and told her that was it, I got so close and it was the end. Yeah, mate, I broke down. Broke down. It was hard. It was very hard, just knowing how close you were to going to judges' houses for 3-4 days or a week or however long they're away, and just gaining that experience. Yeah. As well as more airtime on TV, and, you know, my name could have went that little bit further, but yeah, mate, it was awful. And then I think the train journey back home to Newcastle on that night, that was it. I was back mind strong. I was back gigging, I think, on the week. I think I might have got back from boot camp on the Thursday, Friday. Mm-hmm. Mind was set, and I was back gigging on the Saturday, and it was like,
that's amazing, though. That is such a testament to yourself.
Oh, it is massively.
You know, you should be very proud of yourself, and I guess, though, to be fair, I guess there must have been a step up in the level that you were known in your local area because of that program, you know. So I guess the gigs, the money for the gigs went up. I guess the interest went up. Because I remember I performed with you. Well, not with you, but I performed on the same bill as you at is it Lancaster Light Switch On?
Yeah. It was. I done Lancaster, and I done Barrow as well while I was down there.
Yeah, you did. So I guess that opened the door to do them sort of appearances. Did you enjoy that? Was it something that you know you thoroughly enjoyed? And do you still get offered them sort of gigs?
Yeah, I do, mate. Up here in Newcastle, I've been asked to do the Newcastle Switch On.
Brilliant.
The bonfire fireworks nights, the big displays that I have up in here. 2018, I think I'd done the Chesterley Street Durham fireworks display solo, and then the year after I actually headlined it with the band.
Brilliant.
So, yeah, I still get some decent work in off the back of obviously the X Factor thing, and yeah, it did raise my platform, which I've sort of used it well. I haven't used it in a big-headed way. Like, I knew after a year and a half, 2 years at a push, we're going to start coming back down on the normal fees and the normal work. And that's what makes or breaks people these days. Like, I know a lot of people who made live shows or judges' houses, and they're nowhere to be seen because they've been up there on the couple of grand per gig, and then they're back down to just the normal wage of what everyone else is on. And some people can't deal with that.
It must be hard to deal with, though, because it's the minute you saw this is why I imagine it's very hard for him, because riding that wave, as medium, small, or big as it is, the point where the money starts to go down is the point where if you accept it, you kind of go in, yeah, that ride's coming to an end now. And it must be hard to let go. So I can see why some people do struggle with it. And again, testament to you that, you managed to walk the walk with it and just adapt. And I mean, I remember, Geoff, after the X Factor and things like that, I remember it was like a rebuild for you. I watched closely with your fitness kick. You went back to boxing a lot, and because you weren't massively overweight or anything like that, but you did shed a lot of pounds, didn't you?
I did, mate. Yeah. Obviously, I've boxed from a very young age.
Yeah.
I think I was 7-year-old when I first walked into a boxing gym. I had my first fight at 11.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. My mum was thrilled about that.
Yeah, I bet she was. Oh, my baby boy.
Yeah. She used to hide in the toilets at the venue where I was fighting. She hid in the toilets from the first round bell to the last round bell, and then she'd come out. And then if I won or lost, it didn't matter. Like, she was there to support us anyway.
Yeah.
But I done really well. I had 32 fights in total, and I finished my record. I had 27 wins.
Right. Okay.
I done well. I boxed for the 90s and weight division. I boxed for England against Spain. And I was sort of on the verge of like taking it further, doing the big competitions and maybe boxing for GB. I don't know where it could have went, but it was at the point where it was music or boxing, and music obviously took the reins.
Was there no competition with that? Was it like music?
Yeah, but it was still a really hard decision because I grew up with boxing, and the places I had been, the fights I had, the coaches I grew up with, my friends I grew up with. It was a hard decision, but it was like, do I want to continue getting punched in the face, making all right money?
Yeah.
You have to get sponsorship to not work and train as a living and fight.
Of course,
Or do I just want to sing on stage? And the buzz is very, very similar, which makes it a lot easier.
So the adrenaline that walks with boxing is very similar to, it's an interesting comparison, really. Here's 2 questions for you in one, and you've got to answer, Geoff. Right. So throughout this journey of singing, who is the nicest celebrity that you've worked with, and who was the worst, as in terms of being nice? Come on, you can do it.
I'll start with the worst.
Okay.
And I just think it's how she came across, how she handled the whole competition. Obviously, we're going back to X Factor.
Yeah.
I didn't really take to Mel B.
Right, okay.
I just didn't really take to her. And I heard, obviously, when on the series that I was going through, I heard that she was going through a lot of problems and stuff like that, which I won't go into. But I just struggled to. Do you think the woman?
Do you think that was lack of effort on her behalf to, come across in the right way to people that she was working with?
Yeah, it just started off on the wrong foot from the minute I met her to the couple of weeks that I was in and around the competitions. Yeah, it was. I just didn't take her very well, and I've worked with quite a lot of people, and she was just someone I just didn't get.
She strikes me, Geoff, to be honest, as someone that if it didn't start off well, she didn't strike me as someone that would go out of her way to repair it.
Nah, definitely not. It's just like,
it's like, it's where it's at. It's staying like that.
The nicest.
Yeah, the nicest. Who's been the nicest, or made you, gone out of the way to be supportive, or who's just impressed you? You can mention a few if you want.
Yeah, I mean, there has been a few, to be fair. I'm going to say Oh man.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard, really. I've worked with a lot of very nice, decent people. Jake Quickenden.
Yeah.
Really nice fella.
Yeah, he seems that. My lass loves him. She follows him on Instagram, everything. Look at Jake, because he's just had a kid as well, and we have. Look what Jake's doing with his kid.
Jake's a lovely fella. Me and Jake's had our sort of bit banter back and forwards. Jake likes to hit the bag and he's in the gym and doing bits. And I've always said, if you want to get it on for some sort of charity or something, like me and you need to get it on. And it's always been a bit of banter from that year at X Factor, because Jake was on that show as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And on the way from the hotel to Wembley, we used to walk past a gym with boxing bags and a boxing ring. And we always had the banter of, one day this week, before we go home, we need to go in there and have a bit of a spar. And since then, it's always been a bit of a joke. But yeah, me and Jake have spoke a lot over the past 6-7 years of when I met him. And with his kids, obviously, I've been just messaging congratulations. And I was on a couple of his Instagram live sessions and gained a lot of following from his following and stuff. So yeah, Jake's been one of the really nice guys. Lucy Spraggan. Right,
okay. I was supposed to be there on Saturday, Lancaster Grand, but we had a bit of one of my crew that does the filmings had a few personal issues, so we couldn't do it. But yeah, she seems really nice.
Yeah, Spraggan's lovely. I actually DJ'd at our wedding.
Did you?
I did, yeah.
I didn't know you were a DJ.
Yeah, I did. I sort of DJ in and around weddings. If I perform, I just give it a package.
Right. Okay.
So I'll tend to just background music, and then I'll perform the first dance in my set, and then I'll go onto the DJ side and finish the night with the party music. You know.
Yeah. Brilliant. That's great. I didn't know that. Didn't know it. Brilliant. So Jake Quickenden and Lucy Spraggan are the nicest people that you probably worked with.
Yeah, them are they just show there straight away. Again, if I had time to think about it, then I would have probably came up with a lot more. But
yeah, but that's the beauty of interviews, mate. You've got to answer on the spot.
roll on these next 10 questions.
I tell you what, as well. You've got my head ticking about this boxing match now, because I'm a patron for a very, very big charity that is childhood cancer. And you've just set the cogs ticking in my head. So who knows? Right, listen, what's great about you, in my opinion, from watching from the outside in, and I also think it probably mean a lot to you, is you have a lot of local support, your local area and your hometown and things and city and whatnot. You seem to have a big backing. Now, I know why that is. It's because you're a really nice lad, you're very talented, and you like to put back as well as take out. What does it mean to you, though, because there's nothing like home support. What does it mean, all these people that follow you, that comment, interact, go on your live videos? What does it mean to you?
Obviously, a hell of a lot. And I try to tell my followers from wherever they are, I'm in a very good position. A lot of people would kill to be in my position. The local support alone, I've grew quite a respected name for myself in the Northeast area, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But through social media, like how far the following seems to get from America, Australia, New Zealand, Philippines, Holland, it's mad, mate. It's mad. I think about it every single day. I wake up every morning just knowing how lucky I am to still be doing this.
Yeah.
And people messaging and wanting to comment and want to share me things. It's it's a bit crazy, mate.
It literally, I mean, I did a couple of social media gigs while we were in lockdown and whatnot, and it was such a crazy feeling. And And then, like you said, you know, it wasn't because of me as per se. It was more to do with Morecambe Music Festival Live Lounge. But there was people, like you said, watching in Australia and Brazil, and there was 3 watching in Baghdad, right? And you're like, this is just like you can't wrap your head around it and stuff. Have you stopped them now, or are you still doing them?
Mate, I haven't done one for about 4 weeks.
Right. Are you missing it? Are you wanting to maybe?
I'm itching now to do one. And I'm getting a lot of messages every week saying, because I used to do one like every Thursday night.
Yeah.
I'd done gigs outside my house on a Thursday night when we're doing the 8 o'clock clap, would do the clap. Yeah. And then I'd perform outside. And it was like week by week, people were finding out what street it was, and there was people traveling and just parking up outside my house watching me gig. And by the end of the last gig, there was about, I'm not even joking, mate, there must have been about 100 people outside my door watching me gig.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
And then brilliant. I thought nothing of it. I thought it was great. Obviously, it was through the time of the lockdown, and not many people were meant to be going out, and it got a bit much. And it was the morning after I got a knock on the door from the police.
All right.
Who were lovely, by the way. Honestly, the police were so nice, and they got it. They were like, "What you're doing is absolutely amazing. What you do, your voice, and the people who are showing up to watch you perform obviously screams a lot.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have to knock it on the head, unfortunately, mate." Yeah. I was stood at my front door, my big fluffy dressing gown. I was like, "What? What's going on here?" But the lives took a massive sort of lift up in me following last year, because people were just on the phones.
Well, you've got one of what you have, Geoff. It's, you know, 90% of singers in this world who can sing and hold a note, you know, it's not directional changing. And what I mean by that is, if someone was in a pub talking to a friend like this, and you're over there and you start singing, you have that thing where people go, right? And that's probably why you had lots of people turn up on the doorstep and things like that, because you are a bit of a, what's the right word? You have a bit of a behaviour stopper. People will stop interacting with a friend to go, wow, you know. So I think that goes a long way. And I loved how professional you were on them live performances on social media. It wasn't just, here I am in this, just doing this. You know, you had the proper setup, you had the hearing monitors, you had, you know, the eye rig and everything like that. You did it properly, you know. And I think that probably goes a long way, because it shows a certain level of professionalism that people will buy into.
Yeah, I mean, I've always said, I've always put 110% into everything I do. And through lockdown and starting doing live gigs just from my phone, I was thinking there's got to be better ways I can do this. There's got to be a way I can have a better sound. Better sound is going to get us more viewers. So just constantly thinking, and that's when everything does come into play, by the mic and the monitor, the eye rig, my little studio setup I've got going on at home now, you know.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So it's things that sort of set you apart, you know. Have good gear, make it work, and the benefits sort of just rip from that, you know.
No, absolutely. What is your current, you know, in the charts right now? What's your sort of influences at the minute? Who's out there that? So I interviewed, for example, this will go to my grave with me. I interviewed John Waite a couple of months ago, who's you know, a rock legend. You know, he did the song "Missing You" in the 80s and whatnot. And I asked him the same question. I said, "Is there anyone out there now that you like?" And he said, "No." And then he went, "Oh, hang on. Who's that? I said it. Who's that Hispanic chick that sung in Manchester?" So I was like, "What?" I was like, "Ariana Grande." He was like, "That's it. I totally believe her." It completely took me off guard with that. So, yeah, the same question to you, Ariana Grande, that's it. Who's out there at the minute that you enjoy listening to, or you think, yeah, this person's got it?
I very rarely listen to the radio. I very rarely listen to any up-to-date music. I seem to just go back to listening to like the 80s stuff. And
yeah. I'm the same, Geoff, if I'm honest. I'm the same.
Yeah, like I might listen or I might flick through. I might just go on Spotify every now and then, get the top 40 up and have a flick through. And I think there might be 2 or 3 songs that jump out. Everything sounds the same.
I agree.
Everything sounds the same.
I think the 90s were probably the last decent decade before music went on a bit of a weird roller coaster that it's not finished on yet. Yeah. I used to like, going out to buy a record, not just sitting at home going click. I think there was a bit of passion behind making that trip to the town to buy something, whereas now, kids are just saying, Mum, put me £10 on me, and then it's click. That's interesting. What's your favourite song to sing, Geoff? I know that's hard because I know you probably quite a lot, but if you had to batten something to a wall, that's my favourite song to sing. What would it be?
Original and a cover?
Well, I was going to say, I'd imagine the original will be Miss You, My Son. Is that correct? Yeah. So tell everyone what that song's about. And by the way, after you've watched this interview, go onto YouTube and listen to Miss You, My Son that Geoff has wrote. Geoff, tell us what it's about.
So it's about my cousin who died 25th of April 2000. It's just been his 21 years.
Yeah.
21 years. So me and Stephen, we were born 1991, same year. We were in the same year at school, walked to school together, played, grew up together, done everything, literally everything together.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in a really bad freak accident on a horse when he was 8-year-old. And yeah, it was just one of them things I sort of struggled growing up with. And once I started songwriting and knowing I could write a few songs, from Better Man to See the Light to Make It on the first album, my auntie went on holiday and I was house sitting for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I remember where I wrote it. In between writing the song, I had a bit of a chill, and I done a quick cover of Bruce Springsteen, I'm on Fire.
Yeah, great song.
Just messing around, and then I went back to writing the song. I think I wrote the song around about where the album was out 2014. So I must have wrote the song about 10 years ago.
Right.
And
it's very hard hitting. Like I listened to it a few times, and you can tell it comes from somewhere that not much else would come from. Which is
it's very relatable to a lot of people, whether they've lost a son or a daughter, a mum, or anything. Like I've actually like that song's been played at a lot of funerals, mate, all over the world. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
People still message us like every day about the song, whether it's a comment on YouTube or whatever. But yeah, it's been used a lot, and there's been times where I've had to change the word son to mum or to love to make it fit,
Yeah. No, that I tell you, it's good that you. What's really good about that is that you lend it for other people, because certain people wouldn't, So hats off to you that you allow such a beautiful song to be shared and used for other people.
It's just mad. It just explains the whole vibe. Like the first lyric is, "What's it like up in heaven? We will never know until it's like our time to go. Is it white? Is it pretty? Is it a town? Is it a city? Like we don't know what it's like up there,
Yeah.
But we just hope wherever it is, it's a lovely place, and that's where we're going. Things are good, and they're living a happy life now. And it's just, it's crazy where that's gone.
Yeah, it is. It's a beautiful song. Make sure you give it a listen and subscribe to Geoff's YouTube channel while you're subscribing to mine. What's your favourite cover song?
My favourite cover song, oh mate, there's so many, but I seem to get really lost in myself when I sing Purple Rain.
Ah, yeah.
But again,
that man was a genius, an absolute genius.
Yeah.
Well, fair answer. I think there's quite a few people that will enjoy singing that. I know Paul does. I think I've heard that more than I've heard Prince sing it.
Yeah.
Right, Geoff, one final question before I get to my 10-question shootout with you. What's the future hold for you? Where are you wanting to go? I mean, obviously there's targets, there's ambitions, but is there a direction you want to head in? Is there something you want to do? Tell me.
Just to be realistic, mate, not think too far ahead. Obviously, I'd love to sell out Wembley 3 times like Ed Sheeran did. But realistically, we're just concentrating at the minute, releasing single after single, because it only takes one song to be noticed, and then things can happen from there. So
yeah, absolutely.
The last couple of years, we've released Something to Me, Just Remember, Enough is Enough. Wanted was in December, gone, and we're working on the new. I'm going to give you an exclusive now and tell you the name of the new single and roughly when it's going to be out. So we're working on the new single, which is called Had It All, and that's going to be out. We're hoping for August time. So we've got round about another 9-10 weeks to finalize it. The track's sounding amazing. I've got it all written. It's ready to go. So yeah, Had It All is going to be out in August. I've got my headline show coming up, which I've sold near enough 400 tickets for, which is amazing.
Ah, brilliant.
So that's happening in August as well. And yeah, I'd love from say next year, 2022, to just build following enough or more to maybe do a small 5-6 date UK little tour. Newcastle, head to Scotland, maybe I'd love to go over to Ireland and do a gig, Manchester, London, Wales, like just a 5-gig nice little tour for people who don't get to see me perform live. Get there, mate. I wouldn't be bothered if there was 5 people who turned up at the show or 500 people. It's those 5 people who have never seen me perform again, and if that makes their sort of, if they've wanted to see us live for so long and it makes them get to see me perform a few songs live, then that's just another little stepping stone. It's just stepping stones for me, mate. I'm just step by step, just slowly enjoying it. And I've always said, if anything was to happen major, like if and when, it might never happen, mate, but I'll always be gigging. I love music. But the longer it takes, the better it feels.
Yeah, I think sometimes people concentrate on the destination rather than the journey. And the journey that you should be enjoying, because that's what leads you there. And some people sometimes just forget about that, and it's the most important piece. You know what I mean?
That's one thing that's changed for me over the past couple of years. There was a time when I wanted to be famous. I wanted to be famous, but now that's totally gone, like out the window. I don't want to be famous. I want to be comfortable and respected. I want to have good crowds at my gigs. I want to be able to go to Metro Centre or Asda and not be hounded. Like, it's changed a lot as I've grown up and matured. Yeah, the fame would be great. Yeah, the big money would be great, but I just want to be comfortable, have a life, enjoy music, make a good living from it. Yeah, and just have enough to give little TJ, my little boy, the best life he can growing up, whether he goes into music or football or dancing or ballet or whatever. The kid can do anything. Yeah, possibly, just for self-defense.
Yeah, you're getting like your mum there, weren't you? You're getting like your mum.
I know. I'll be like that watching them. I'll be like,
yeah. Right, look, just one little last question before I do these 10 questions. The Voice?
Yeah.
Is it happening?
I mean, it might be.
It might be.
It might be.
I think that is where it would happen for you. That I just have a little feeling in me, knowing your voice, that might be a game changer. But anyway, we won't say too much on that. We'll see what happens. Right, Geoff, 10 questions coming your way. I want you to answer as quickly as possible, please. Are you ready? Don't worry, there's nothing that'll screw you up. Don't worry. So question number 1, what is your favourite word?
Class.
What is your least favourite word?
CUNT.
Good lad. What turns you on?
Someone with talent.
Good answer. What turns you off?
People doing awful TikTok cringy dances.
Whoops, that's me.
Yep. Not like girls, I mean like girls.
Oh, right, fair enough. You let me off. That's fair enough. What sound do you love?
Music.
What sound do you hate? Couldn't be anything. There isn't a sound.
No, not really. Not really.
That's fair enough. That shows a real sense of I
can just deal
with the world.
I'm just at peace, and
yeah.
I'm very laid back.
That's cool. What is your favourite curse word? You can say it.
If my mum watches, like she'll tell us off anyway. Like I hate sort of swearing or anything around my mum, but yeah, we do say fuck a lot.
All right, fair enough. It's a good old-fashioned fuck. No, there's nothing wrong with that, mate. What profession other than your own would you like to attempt? Is it the old boxing?
If it was to be one that I haven't really tried before, I'd love to try the acting. I'd love to try the acting sort of side. I think I'd be pretty good at that.
You're the first person to say that, and that is exactly what my answer would be to that question. So There we go. What profession would you not like to do?
The job I'm doing right now, which I have to do to pay some bills.
Right.
Electrical. I'm an electrician, and
you're a sparky.
I'm just sick of it, mate. I'm sick of how in depth it's become, and the rules and regulations, and the signing work off, and it's just a joke. Like, but I'd love to get out of that job pretty soon. That's the aim.
Okay, and finally, question number 10: if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
You've had a good life. Come in. This is the new life. There's nothing bad up here. People who you've lost are there waiting for you. Just enjoy yourself, really.
It's a nice welcome.
Yeah, nice welcome, you know.
Brilliant. Geoff, thank you so much for joining me. If people want to follow you on social media, how do they do it? Tell us.
It's just Geoff Mull Music across most platforms, Instagram, Twitter. Facebook, YouTube is just my name, Geoff Mull, which is obviously GeoffMull. I've been called a lot of different names over the years. Geoff Mull. Mull. It's like, nah, it's Geoff Mull.
Hey, Geoff Mull, that is a showbiz name.
I mean,
right there.
Yeah, it could be. But
Geoff Mull.
Geoff Mull, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, Geoff Mull music across all platforms, Spotify, Geoff Mull, YouTube, Geoff Mull, iTunes, whatever.
Wicked.
Geoff Mull, you'll find it. You should find it.
Listen, thank you for donating a bit of your time for me, and hopefully when this comes out, your followers and your fans will get to see this and obviously see a side of you that they might not know, although they probably do because you're very open and honest and things like that. But Geoff, thank you so much. If you've never seen Geoff perform, go and watch him. Go and see him on YouTube because his voice is amazing. Geoff, thank you very much. You take care, my friend, and I'll hopefully see you soon.
Yeah, and you, mate. Thank you.
No worries. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Cheers, buddy. Thanks.